The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions, and Frogs Angels has an updated 2-round NFL mock draft. What a great day. Before I get into it, there's a link in the description and pin in the comments. That'll bring you to the Browns pick. You guys make the pick. Fan voted mock draft in the works. That same link will turn into the Giants pick and keep going eventually after we get enough votes there. And once it's done, we'll have a video like this of the fan voted mock draft. Keep giving you updates in future videos too, who is leading the way for each pick. So remember, click that link and go vote. Should be fun. And before I show the first pick, the Browns pick, something I noticed, I think everybody noticed that there was a rumor that the Browns possibly could be interested in Baker Mayfield first overall, is what they said. Do I believe that? No, I do not believe it. We usually see this stuff from any team. It's usually a smokescreen, but why would the Browns be smokescreening with a quarterback in the first overall pick when they have their choice of quarterback? It could be because the Browns are just doing Brown things. They're not really sure why. Could very much be that, or it could be because they're smokescreening their possible quarterback for the fourth pick because they may have their options there, and that's why with the first pick, I have the Browns going with Saquon Barkley, running back, Penn State, possibly the best player in the draft. Too good to pass on, maybe. And they can still get a quarterback of there's still be plenty of choices at 4. They also can trade up for a quarterback. That's definitely a possibility. So I got Saquon Barkley 1. The Giants, I got them taking Sam Darnold, quarterback, USC 2. It sounds like he will go 1 or 2, so I have him here at 2. He'll sit behind Eli, be their future quarterback, which they need. If you know me, I'm not super high on Sam Darnold, but I do like his potential. What I wouldn't like about this pick really is that the Giants could definitely be like playoff contenders right now. So why not get a guy that will help you right now? I don't think Darnold really does that unless they get rid of Eli. But I think Rosen will be more ready to play now. So it sounds like Darnold will go 1 or 2. A lot of people like his potential. Number 3, maybe a little bit of a shocker. I got Tremaine Edmunds, linebacker from Virginia Tech. After the last mock draft, I reviewed Edmunds' tape, and my God, I love this guy. Freak size, 6'5", rare size he can be a linebacker or edge rusher, rare size, either one. And he's 19 years old. I think that alone, with just say he had solid play, that alone gets him top 10, mainly because his age and size. But he was one of the better defensive players in college football. Excellent tape. So I think the Colts are legit landing spot for him. They can use him inside, outside. He can probably play D-end, honestly. Reminds me a little bit of Jalen Smith. We knew without the injury, we knew he was a freak at either inside or outside linebacker. Then we see some film of him practicing at D-end, and he looks ridiculous there. I think Tremaine Edmunds is the same type of guy there. I think he can do a lot. He's a freak, minus the injury that Jalen Smith had. And I've seen some Anthony Barr comparisons. I like that as well, more freakish in size. And I can't wait to see him in the combine. I think he's going to have some good speed too. Guys all over the place. I love Edmunds a lot. Fourth pick, like I said, Browns may wait for the quarterback here. Only one off the board. They still get Josh Rosen, who is a legit quarterback at number 1 for the number 1 overall pick. So they get Josh Rosen, quarterback UCLA, for day 1 starter there. So Barkley and Rosen, that's a good draft. Broncos go quarterback as well. Josh Allen, quarterback, Wyoming. I think it's a little early for him, but it's definitely a possibility. Help himself in the Senior Bowl. I think he's a John Elway type of guy. I know they like Baker Mayfield. They probably like Darnold or Rosen as well. They make it Kirk Cousins. We'll see. But as of now, I got him going quarterback, Josh Allen. 6th pick, another quarterback, Baker Mayfield, quarterback, Oklahoma. For the Jets, Jets need a quarterback too. Could be the Jets, the Broncos, the Browns. They could all be landing spots for quarterbacks in the draft, or Kirk Cousins. Or maybe Kirk Cousins doesn't go to any of these teams. Maybe he goes to a team like the Vikings, Bills, Cardinals, somebody like that. So these teams, right as of now, are in need of a quarterback. Bucks at the 7th pick going Bradley Chubb, edge rusher from NC State. He drops to here, so it's a no-brainer. They need pass rush more than anybody, and he's more than worthy of the pick. 8th pick, too good to pass here for the Bears. Minkah Fitzpatrick, DB from Alabama, can't play safety, can play corner. I think he played corner for the Bears. I think they had some good corner play last year. They need to get some guys back, but they still are missing that number 1 corner, which teams desperately need to contend, I think. So they'll be happy with Minkah Fitzpatrick there if he drops to 8. Next 8 picks, I got Quentin Nelson going Niners. Too good to pass. He's a top 3 player in this draft. My top 3 players as of now would be between Nelson, Barkley, and Tremaine Edmonds, actually. But Quentin Nelson helps out Garoppolo, the guard from Notre Dame. You don't see a guard like this every day. He's very close to a sure thing, I'd say. 10th pick, Roquan Smith, linebacker, Georgia. Raiders would love to have him, best player on the board at this point, and it's a big need. 11, another linebacker that I really like, Rashaan Evans from Alabama. A very smart player and makes everybody around him better, so he's definitely worthy of the pick. Definitely a riser for me, so him going to the Dolphins also fills the need. 12th pick, the Bengals taking Orlando Brown, offensive lineman, Oklahoma. They can go lineman. They can surprise everyone, go quarterback. They can go linebacker. They had a lot of injuries there and could get better there. But Orlando Brown, I think, is the best tackle in the draft for me as of now. He's kind of been sliding down people's draft a little bit. I disagree with that. He can pass block and run block. You catch him downfield blocking guys when you don't see a lot of linemen doing that. Like way downfield, I'm talking. So very impressive tape for Orlando Brown. Bengals lost a lot of O-linemen last year, so definitely could use his abilities there. 13, Redskins, Maurice Hurst, D-lineman, Michigan. Redskins need some run stop help. Maurice Hurst, Vita Vea, Deron Payne could be all those guys. The thing about Hurst is I think he gets after the quarterback very well for a big interior D lineman. The guy's all over the place, so I like Maurice Hurst a lot. Packers need a lot of defensive help. Pass rush might be the most important thing in football. So Marcus Davenport, big riser, edge rusher from Texas San Antonio. Hell of a game in the Senior Bowl. 15, I got the Cardinals taking Lamar Jackson, quarterback at Louisville, another one of my favorite players in the draft. Seems like the NFL could be changing a little bit. RPO won the Super Bowl. Teams kind of going away from that coach's handbook, maybe. I shouldn't say teams. I should say really a couple of teams, mainly Doug Peterson and the Eagles run that RPO. So Lamar Jackson could be a factor. And I heard Nick Saban said he thinks NFL is going to turn into RPO, maybe a more college style. Why? Because it's hard to stop. We saw the Eagles do it to the Patriots. They did it to the number 1 defensive football in the NFC Championship, and it looked easy for their offense with backups, with a backup quarterback. So I think Lamar Jackson, if used right, could be a hell of a quarterback, a hell of a player in the NFL, and it's so hard to stop it. It's so hard to game plan on it. So I love Lamar Jackson. I don't know who's going to take him. I got the Cardinals taking him, but who's going to have the big balls? Who's going to do it? Can't wait to see. 16, Ravens obviously need a receiver. I have him going Calvin Ridley, wide receiver, Alabama. Cortland Sutton's my number 1 wide receiver, but slow 40 time. We still got to wait to see what his 40 time is going to be, but that could, I shouldn't say slow, but slower, could move him down a little bit. Calvin Ridley seems to be the favorite wide receiver. You know he's not mine, but I do think he's a good player. People talking about the Bears all the way up at 8, taking a receiver, maybe too early, in my opinion. If they're going to go one, I like Sutton, but it's a little early and a little risky. On the next 8 picks, Chargers, Deron Payne, defensive lineman, Bama. Chargers don't have a lot of holes. Pretty balanced team. I like them. If they play this offseason right and this draft right, they could be a legit contender. But I like Payne in there, an interior D-line. Very good player. Seahawks, Joshua Jackson, corner, Iowa. I think he's the best corner in the draft. I think he's worthy of a better pick than this. But it makes sense that the Seahawks somehow get him, and he'll end up being one of the best corners in the league. That just all makes sense to me. So Seahawks go Jackson. Cowboys go Derwin James. Too good to pass. They need help on defense, I think. I think Derwin James can play safety. He's mainly a safety, but I think he can play corner. I think teams are going to be split on him. Some teams may view him as a top 10 player. Some teams may think late first round. Injury hurt him, but he's a very good football player. So too good to pass for the Cowboys. The Lions, Darius Geis, running back, LSU. People seem to think running back is a huge need for the Lions. I don't think it's as big of a need as people think. But with Darius Geis sitting there, I think you kind of got to take him. Not a bunch of huge needs for the Lions, but too good of running back to pass, and it's somewhat of a need. The Bills, I still got the Bills taking Mason Rudolph, quarterback, Oklahoma State. I think he's got a good arm. People worry about the velocity on the ball. I think he'll be fine. Very smart quarterback. And people worried about he didn't play in pro style, but the pro style offense just didn't win the Super Bowl. It was an RPO offense, an offense that's changed its offense throughout the year just because they could. So I'm not worried about pro style. Rudolph not being in a pro style offense. He's a good quarterback. I like him a lot. Vita Vea to the Bills. They could use some. They could get younger on defense. They got a solid defense. Could get younger. Could get better. Vita Vea, I'm worried about him in the pass rush. Might be just a run-stopping guy. Very good. He's probably the best run-stopper in his draft, but that being one of his only traits as of now, I think he has potential to develop as a pass rusher, but maybe he won't be on the field on every down. That's why I think he'll drop a little bit. 23 to the Rams, Denzel Ward, corner, Ohio State. I think he's a very good football player, but him being 5'10", maybe he drops a little bit back here. I don't have a problem with size, but I think teams looking at the bigger corners are the better ones right now, so that could be an issue, but he's very, very good. Plays bigger than he is, so I like Denzel Ward. 24, Courtland Sutton, wide receiver, SMU. Only thing about Courtland Sutton is speed, but he's a freak. He's a very good wide receiver. He has a high ceiling. Could look back, and this guy could be one of the better players from this draft. So I think the Panthers could steal him potentially, because it sounds like he may drop, but we got to wait to see what he runs. Next 8 picks, I got the Titans taking Carlton Davis, corner, Auburn. Bigger corner, lockdown corner. Auburn missed him their last 2 games, which they both lost. They were very good at stopping the pass before then. They were not in that game, and they were missing Carlton Davis. Lockdown Calvin Ridley when they played Alabama. He's a very physical, very good corner. Good at breaking up passes. I like Carlton Davis in the first round. 26, the Falcons taking Isaiah Wynn, offensive lineman, Georgia. Probably the biggest riser in the draft for me. Excellent Senior Bowl. Falcons don't have a whole bunch of holes. They don't have a whole bunch of needs. So I like Isaiah Wynn there. The Saints, Harold Landry, edge rusher from Boston College. Sounds like he may drop a little bit, but I don't know. I like him a lot. I can play DN for him. They can kick Sheldon Rankins inside. They can play outside linebacker. I like Harold Landry, so I still don't think he gets out of the first round. Too much talent. Steelers taking Malik Jefferson, linebacker, Texas. Unfortunate injury of Shazier, so they take Malik Jefferson for linebacker depth. I mean, he starts right away. Excellent linebacker. 29, I got the Jags taking Connor Williams, offensive lineman from Texas. Drops a little bit because inconsistency, but very good offensive lineman. And then 30, another lineman, the Vikings taking Mike McGlinchey, offensive lineman, Notre Dame. Could struggle at pass protection a little bit early, but I'm not worried about him long term. Very good run blocking tackle. Him and Orlando Brown, very, very good run blocking offensive tackles. 31, the Patriots, Ronnie Harrison, safety from Alabama. I like Ronnie Harrison a lot. Reads plays. I think he secretly can play some corner as well, but I like him at safety. And the Patriots were very weak at safety in the Super Bowl, so I like this pick. And the Eagles, they got depth. They don't have a lot of holes, so why not take a potential guy, Arden Key, edge rusher from LSU. He has a very high ceiling, boomer bust guy. The Eagles are in a great position to do something like this, so it makes sense to me. That'll do it for the first round. We're going on to the second round. Browns starting off with Jair Alexander, one of my favorite players in the draft. I think he should be a first-round corner. He's all over the place. If you watch the film, attacks the ball. The Browns would love to have him. Giants take quarterback in the first. Now they get Sony Michel, another guy that I think is a first-round talent, excellent running back. Has every trait an NFL running back should have. So I think Pat Shurmur would love to have Sony Michel in there. The Browns with another pick, James Washington, wide receiver from Oklahoma State, had a good Senior Bowl. Team's worried about his route tree maybe, but gets open, makes the big catches, big plays. I like James Washington. Colts taking Billy Price, the offensive lineman from Ohio State. They obviously need O-line help. The Jets go corner, and Isaiah Oliver, long corner, good in man coverage. Jets could use another corner. Bucks also need another corner. They need a lot of pass rush. They got one in the first. They can go 2 rounds in a row with more pass rush, but I'm taking Mike Hughes, who seems to be on the rise for a lot of people, the Central Florida corner. And the Bears take Christian Kirk, the Texas A&M wide receiver, in the second round. This would be a hell of a pick because they need wide receivers pretty bad. This guy could potentially be a first-rounder. I think he'll be a better pro than he was in college. Christian Kirk can do a lot of things. Broncos, Sam Hubbard, too good to pass, get their defense back to where it was when they won the Super Bowl. They don't really need a lot to do that. It could easily get back there, so Sam Hubbard can help them on the D-line. Raiders, Tavares McFadden, kind of dropped. If he would have came out last year for the draft, or if he was able to, he would have been a first-round pick, led the nation in interceptions. Comes out this year, maybe a little bit of a down year, but I like his size. I like his play on the ball. So I don't think he gets out of the second round. The Raiders could use a corner pretty badly. Dolphins get a backup for Ryan Tannehill, Luke Falk, quarterback from Washington State. I see him as a second-round quarterback, pretty accurate thrower. Had a pretty bad game this year and 5 interceptions, but I'm not worried about one game. Patriots take Ronald Jones. I like Ronald Jones a lot. Hits the hole hard with a lot of speed. Can move laterally very well, too. I think the Patriots having some running back free agents, and they got good running backs, but I think Ronald Jones is a better choice there. I think he can possibly be a Rookie of the Year candidate if he goes to the right team. Very dangerous player. Redskins, Deshaun Elliott. They can use another safety. This guy is a ball hawk. He attacks the ball very well. The safety from Texas, so I like him a lot. Packers, Kerryon Johnson, running back from Auburn. Too good to pass. They have a million running backs, but they don't have one like Kerryon Johnson, even though he's a rookie. Day one, he's their best running back. Gives him a legit chance to get back in the playoffs. Bengals, Dorian O'Daniel, the Clemson linebacker, another one of my guys. Another one of my guys in the draft. Nobody's really talking about Dorian O'Daniel. If he went late first, I wouldn't complain about it. I like Dorian O'Daniel a lot. Bengals could use another linebacker. The problem with linebackers, like true linebackers, you don't see them cover too well. That's like the biggest struggle for these linebackers. This guy covers guys way downfield, breaks up passes. He's all over the place. I really like his game. Cardinals take Anthony Miller, another receiver that I think should go higher in this. Excellent route running, can catch about everything. A little short, maybe 5'10", 5'11". Looks actually shorter than that when you watch him, but when he makes plays, you can't believe that he's that short. He makes all kinds of plays, has speed, has everything you need in a receiver except for size. So I like Anthony Miller a lot. Chargers go Okoronkwo, the edge rusher, linebacker possibly from Oklahoma. They got Bosa, who's usually coming off the line. They got Ingram, very talented player who could come from the line or as an outside linebacker. I think you put Okoronkwo opposite of Ingram. With Bosa, too, on the line, it's very scary, so I like him a lot there. The Jets going Rashad Penny, San Diego State running back, really could do it all, can hit the hole hard. Kick returner, too, so you know he's got the speed. He's a very smart runner. Jets need a running back, so I like that. Cowboys go Traquan Smith, Central Florida receiver, a big riser, just does everything right. Not going to blow you away with anything, but he does everything right, makes the big plays. So I like Traquan Smith. Receivers are going to be very strange how they're going to come off the board. Some of these guys can sneak in the back of the first round like Traquan Smith or like a DJ Moore. Lions got going Taven Bryan, the defensive lineman from Florida. I like him a lot. He's somewhat of a riser for me after I watch his film. And then there's DJ Moore, the wide receiver from Alabama, going to the Ravens. I got Ravens going with 2 wide receivers, Calvin Ridley and DJ Moore. That could be scary. DJ Moore can do a lot. He can do pretty much everything you ask a receiver to do. He's very elusive for a receiver, too, so I like him. Bills go Jerome Baker, add a linebacker there, the linebacker from Ohio State. Chiefs go Cameron Kelly, long corner from San Diego State. I think he can play safety as well, but I think I like him at outside corner. They got Peters at their number 1 outside corner. Then they'll have Kelly in there, and then Fuller will be the slot corner. Panthers, Marquise Haynes, the edge rusher from Ole Miss. This guy played D-end. He can play outside linebacker. I like him a lot. I think he's not getting any discussion about like late first round. I think he should be. This is the guy that's going to make the big play at the end of the game that'll turn it around, I think. Strip sacks, he can do it. Bills go Deion Kane, wide receiver from Clemson. Just realizing they took Sammy Watkins, the wide receiver from Clemson. 2 speed guys, didn't really work out, but it's a different era, I guess. Deion Kane was once known as a first rounder. Dropped a little bit, but I think he could be a good receiver. The Bills could use another one. Get a speed guy, and they have Benjamin back, hopefully, with the big guy downfield. So, Titans taking Deshaun Hand, defensive lineman from Alabama. I like him a lot on the Titans at D-end. I would love this. I love this for this to happen. I think another guy that would be better in the NFL than he was in college, where he's rotating with a lot of guys in college and Alabama because they have so much depth. So you get more action in the NFL, hopefully, and then he'll show off what he's got. Falcons taking Harrison Phillips, defense lineman from Stanford. Very good player. Niners taking Levi Wallace, corner from Alabama. Levi Wallace makes great plays. He's all over the place. He's very smart corner, knows the game very well. Problem, him being so light. Can he press the strong receivers? That's like really, if it wasn't for that, he'd be a first rounder. The guy's all over the place. I think John Lynch will like him. Niners take him here. Steelers going with Kaiser White, West Virginia. Go watch this guy's film if you want to see some big hits. The guy's all over the place. He can play safety. He can play corner. Possibly see him in the slot. Big guy for the slot, though, but he can play anywhere. He can read plays very well, too. Jags go Dallas Goedert, South Dakota State freak tight end. They could use another tight end. Jags team with not a lot of holes, in my opinion, so they can go with Goddard there. Upgrade at tight end. Vikings go Rasheem Green, defensive lineman from USC. They could use another D lineman, whether it's D tackle or D end. And the thing is, here is Green could play both. I think he's a Mike Zimmer guy. I think you can put him at D tackle. I think you can put him at D end. So I think that'll fit the Vikings defense. Patriots go Kyle Lauletta, Richmond quarterback, Senior Bowl MVP. Very good in practices. Very great ball placement. This guy can play. I mean, the only thing is he went to Richmond. I think the Patriots traded Garoppolo because they got their eyes set on a quarterback in this draft. They usually don't take one in the first round. They could. But I think they'll take a guy like this, maybe Luke Falk. So it could be the future of the Patriots, possibly. And the Browns take Will Hernandez, offensive lineman from UTEP, another big riser. In my opinion, the first round from last year is more talented than this year. There's some very talented guys, though. But I think this year's draft, second and third, day 2 is going to be fun. Second and third round, it's just so many guys can go there, and it'd be like those guys could be considered late first rounders too. So the day 2 in this year's draft is going to be great. Mark Andrews, possible second round that I didn't have go. The tight end from Oklahoma, he could be a potential late first rounder, but he's not even on the board in the second round here. So another good player there. Some edge rushers. Josh Sweat from Florida State. Wasn't for the injury. He could be a late first rounder, freak guy. Nwosu, the 3-4 outside linebacker from USC. Very good at reading the quarterback, batting the passes down near the line. Dorrance Armstrong from Kansas. Potential guy. Not a whole bunch of production, but the guy's a freak. You can see he's got a lot of potential. Van Der Esch, the linebacker from Boise State, guy's all over the place, does everything right. Could potentially sneak in the second round. John Kelly, one of my favorite players in the draft, the running back from Tennessee. Similar to Kamara last year, very good running back, a lot of speed and very aggressive, very strong, nasty runner. I like John Kelly a lot. I think he should be a second rounder. Derek Nottie, the defensive tackle from Florida State. A couple of linemen. You got Daniels, the center from Iowa, can sneak in here. Braden Smith, the guard from Auburn. A couple of tackles. You got Martinez Rankin from Mississippi State. Okafor from Western Michigan. They can sneak here in the second round, possibly late first. And then we got 3 receivers here that can sneak in here. DJ Chark, speed guy, knows how to get open. Deshaun Hamilton, one of the best route runners in the draft. A few drops in the Senior Bowl kind of made me drop him a little bit, but I like Deshaun Hamilton, very good route runner. Michael Gallup, very good hands and very good after the catch. So as you can see, there's a lot of guys that could potentially go into second round. Third round should be very fun as well. I love that day 2 of the draft. Can't wait for that. But that'll do it for the 2-round mock. We got plenty of off-season and draft videos to come. Don't forget to click that link in the description to vote for the Browns pick. We're going to keep updating that. The fan mock draft will be on its way as soon as that's done, but I'll keep updating you guys on that. So please check that out. Please like and subscribe to the channel. More to come. Don't you worry. That'll do it. Goodbye.